So this is what it looks like during Hurricane Hannah. I guess it's category 1. We've just been getting gray skies, a little bit of wind, and a little bit of rain. So we're in Lake Jackson, which is quite a ways from Corpus Christi, which is where they projected it to landfall. So I figured since really couldn't do too much outside today, we would do some knife maintenance. And as you can probably expect, my my workbench is messy, so let's take care of that. So now that the workspace is clean, we just need, that's more like it. All right, so I bought some lube, and initially that was the plan, was just to lube them up. You see this, the Tenacious just doesn't, even with the thumb, it doesn't flick very well. Some of the other ones, this one's fairly okay. Then I decided that it'd probably be good to go ahead and sharpen them as well. So I just bought some Tough Glide Century. Contains mineral spirits, so you don't want to swallow it. It just says rub surface. Surface you wish to protect with Tough Glide. Works with any mechanism to ensure complete coverage. So we're gonna try it. I've had knives pretty much my whole life, but I don't think I've ever really done any kind of maintenance as far as lubing them or anything like that. So some of these need them, like you saw with this one. We'll go ahead and oil it, but it doesn't need it. And then I figured while I had it out, we would go ahead and sharpen them. So we got the Lansky box out. We're gonna go with the 20 degree. And I think most of these just need to be touched up. So for the most part, except for maybe this one gets quite a bit of use. I'm gonna use the ones that aren't coarse. So the smoother ones, and just kind of touch those up. So we're gonna start by sharpening them, and then we'll finish off with the lubrication. So with the Lansky, as you guys have seen before, try to get an angle that's good for you guys. You literally just go straight down. So your angles are already built into the stones. A few passes. So I'm going to speed this up for you guys, so you guys don't get too bored just watching the sharpening. The smoother stone really didn't work on the skeletal, as you guys saw, or on the Swiss Army, which also happens to be the two knives that I use the most. So we're gonna use the coarse, and then we'll go back again with the fine afterwards. I'm just gonna replace those there and sharpen them up. All right, so these two were really the only ones that I had to use the coarse on. So now I need to go back with the fine. And what you do on these, being that it's a dedicated one for each side, it makes it easy to kind of keep count how many you're doing. So you start with one side, you want to end with the other. But as you slide down, you want to kind of stop right before you come off of it. And the reason being is you don't want to roll the tip. I haven't ever had any issue with it, and as you guys know from previous videos, I am terrible about sharpening knives. But this system's really easy, and I've never had any issues rolling the tip or messing any of the knives up. After I go a few passes on these last two, then I'm gonna clean the blades up on some of them with just a little bit of soap and water and a toothbrush. Just mild, you know, dishwashing detergent. And then we'll oil and work the parts. This one especially, it's probably it was in the worst shape, blade shape, and it's probably the dirtiest. So as you guys know, that is my EDC. I like to try to rotate other knives. A lot of times I'll carry the CRKT, the CEO. I still need to do a video on it and just go over all the specs and everything, because that's a really good knife. But just because of I wear regular jeans, so it's hard to carry more than one knife, flashlight, and you know, all the EDC stuff that you guys see that I carry. That is one thing that I like about the case knife. It's not out here because it's brand new. It doesn't need any kind of touch-up or maintenance on it. But I like it because it'll actually, where I typically would keep my Jeep key in the little fifth, you know, your coin pocket or whatever in your jeans, that case fits perfectly there. It stays put, doesn't slide around or anything. It's really good there. So, all right, so we're done with the Lansky turn box. We'll put it back up. Okay, and then just we're gonna get a microfiber cloth out. And then an old toothbrush and just dip it in the warm, like I said, it's just warm dish soap. And then this shouldn't hurt the steel in any way, and it also shouldn't mess up me just sharpening it. So cleaned up. This one may be a little difficult to clean because I've opened Shock It for the pool with this, and so it's got, may need some Goo Gone or something to get the plastic off. But no, it looks like it. Came out pretty much perfect. You guys see if we can get that to focus up. But all the gunk and stuff that was on, it's off. Maybe a few little spots there we'll touch back up. So that's the next step. I'm gonna run through the knives. This is the Skeletal. I should have went through. This is the Cold Steel Code 4. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this one, even with the size. It is a massive knife, and I typically don't carry anything this big, but if I'm gonna carry a full size, I like this one because of the thin profile. And probably one of my favorite knives of all time, the CRKT CEO. And then the Benchmade Mini Grip Tillion with a little spider hole. And then we have the Sog Twitch 2. This is a really, I say really old. It's old for me. I got that in like 2008 or 9. No later than 2010. But I think it was like 8 or 9. This is one that my kids bought me for either my birthday or Father's Day. It's I don't know the model, but it's a Smith&Wesson. It says Smith&Wesson MP3BS. So I don't know if that is, if M&P is the kind of brand of it. I don't really know, but it's got a glass breaker. It's just a cool little knife. And then I have the this is the Kershaw Thistle, and it's got the button. This is a really cool knife. It's, once you get the little button down, so if you push it too far, it won't allow you to close it. So you just push it down enough. And then you guys know pretty much the reason we're here. The Spyderco Tenacious, the black on black. finally got in my dad's Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in black on black. Super, super nice. I like the compression lock on the back. It's cool. It's a really neat system. And then probably the knockoff to the Mannix or Para 3. I'm not sure which one, but this is the Ganzo axis lock. So, and for what it is and the price, it's a good beater knife. So, all right, so we're gonna get them cleaned up, and then we'll come back and lube everything, and then wrap up the video. All right, so I got everything cleaned up. They cleaned up fairly well. Brought it in for a little closer look when we add oil. We'll start with this one since I grabbed it for whatever reason. What we'll do is just put some, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm just gonna put a few drops in there. And then we'll kind of just work it in there a little bit. And flip it over. And I guess you can try to mimic where there was already grease if you can tell, or oil. I'm not sure if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll just get a little bit down there. And then I want to just wipe any extra off. Okay, so we're gonna go back to regular. Let's try this one next, because this is the one I was really the most worried about. It has these little ports here, so we'll try to put some grease down in there, some oil down in there. Now, I'm really not trying to use a whole bunch. We'll go from this back side. I used a little bit too much on that other one, I think. So put a few drops there. And then really just see if we can work it in there. And I'm really just barely squeezing it. You can already see that's a huge difference. Put just a little bit more. Still not. We'll set this one aside. This one is one of the ones I really don't think needed it too much, so we're just gonna add just a little bit just to keep everything nice and lubricated. Sorry I have allergies, so a little sniffly. I'll try to mind that, not sniffling you guys' ear. So just kind of working it in. Just a few drops here on this one. Just a few more knives left.
Let me see the oil pop out of it. This one I really don't think needs it. We'll add a few drops. Don't think it'll hurt anything. Seems like the little needle point definitely helps. Getting in there. So this one, I don't know how well it helps this, but we're gonna put it here and around here, and then there. We're gonna go ahead and add some where it opens for the pliers as well. And down in there. Just don't want to make it too, greasy, and I don't want it to stain any pants pocket or anything, so. Like I said, this is the one I carry the most. Some of the mini Griptilian there. So yeah, as many knives, and it's for as long as I've owned knives. This is actually the first time I've ever greased any of them or added oil to any of them. So I don't even know if that's a good brand or got decent reviews on Amazon. And it's kind of middle of the road price. Wasn't terribly cheap, but it wasn't expensive either. So I think it was like $7 or $8. So not bad. I think you could get them cheaper, like not two or three, but like $4 or $5. So I think the highest I saw was like 12 or something, if I'm remembering correctly. This one came out really clean with it soap and water. It had a lot of blue stains from my jeans. Looks like got all those off. So this is a great little knife here. If you don't have any Benchmades, the Griptilian's great. It's a larger knife. But I like this one for the size. And then put a little grease for the Sog. And I keep saying grease, I do mean oil, so sorry. Make sure this one was worked in. I think it was worked in pretty good. Yeah. Nothing else maybe to flush out some of the dust and lint that gets, in there from being in your pocket. So awesome. So we're gonna put the little cap back on. We'll save this just in case, and then we'll put it up in a little drawer with our cabinet with everything else. So that's it. One last thing, I have this Open L that I've had for a while. I like it, the Open L. If you can see, it's starting to fade off. I used to carry it a lot. I don't carry it as much anymore just because it gets hard to rotate through all the knives and everything. As you guys have seen, I'm a fan of the burnt linseed oil look. So what do you guys think? I'm thinking about sanding this down, burning it, and then doing it in linseed, and then maybe trying to force a patina on the blade in some way, either doing like a acid type etching on it, or mustard, or something to give it a little distressed look on this, and on the collar, and then on the blade, and then doing the burnt and linseed oil for the handle, so it would lose the open L. But like I said, it's almost gone anyway. So I don't know. Give me your opinions down below on what I should do. So this was kind of fun video to make because I've never done this, and it I think was needed. So thanks for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks, guys.